Rev your engines and let the dirt fly, because we're getting ready for another fast and furious season of Polaris RZR UTV racing.
There is straight carnage going on out here.
From the stars of the sport,
the secret is, just paying attention, trying to be as quick as you can.
To the tech that propels them.
To be able to take a stock vehicle and go out and do what we're doing, it's amazing how well they work and how much fun you can have.
We're putting you in the driver's seat for a sneak peek at what's in store this season.
We're gonna go big or go home.
And a look back at last season's most thrilling moments. So strap in, because the 2017 Lucas Oil Terracross preview show starts now. Terracross is back, and the 2017 season is set to elevate the action to an entire new level. Hi everyone, I'm Jim Beaver, and today we're taking a look ahead at the upcoming action for the 2017 season. From the debut of a brand new turbo class, to the return of perennial favorites and past champions, and the new faces that will challenge them, we'll dive into stacked fields and an amazing community that brings soul to the sport. We'll also get the drivers' perspectives on the strategy behind the wheel as they tackle the courses built specifically to test their limits. And look at what happens when those limits are reached. So without further ado, let's hit the Optimus start line. And what better place to start than with the drivers, who couldn't be more pumped to hit the course in 2017.
2017 Terracross is gonna be insane. The competition is going to be stiff. It's going to be rowdy. We're going big.
Terracross, it offers a different type of racing for us in the side-by-side. It's very extreme. There's logs, there's tires, there's big bumps, doubles, ruts, big berm. It's a very high-pace racing, and the adrenaline levels are through the roof.
I just drove a RZR at Pastrana's property, and I cannot stop thinking about it, and it seriously blew my mind, and I wasn't sleeping, because of it. And it just ear-to-ear smile every time, like, I've touched the wheel, and I've barely had seat time, but I'm like, I need to do this. This needs to be in my life.
There's no shortage of enthusiasm from this year's competitors, but on the circuit's most unforgiving courses, it takes more than stoke to be a champion.
It's a lot harder than what it looks. I'll just say that. I get out there and these guys, they're not playing around. They're hauling tail, and everybody's pretty aggressive, so you just kind of got to get in when you can and make a move and make it stick.
Being inside the RZR and in that driver's seat, it's a rough course out there. So you're getting thrown around, you're getting bashed and bruised pretty much.
Oh my goodness! When you're in the UTV here at Terracross, it's violent sometimes. It might appear that it's soft when you're jumping these big jumps or crushing over the tires or logs, but you're really getting rattled around pretty good.
Every driver competes in the same Polaris RZR with stock factory specs. With the equipment equalized, the driver's skill is a deciding factor in the race.
So it's neat to get all these different people that are great at their sport all together and, all in the same vehicles. So no one has an advantage, everyone's on the same playing field, and just have them all dice it out. So it's gonna be chaos out there. It's gonna be so much fun.
The thing about Terracross that I really was excited for is the fact that everyone is in the same machine. Like, there's no way of cheating. There's no way around it besides the driver's talent.
You kind of just need to be smart and play off of everyone else and see what unfolds.
This year, Terracross is ratcheting up the insanity another notch with the introduction of the Turbo class. The pro men will be stepping into the even faster Polaris RZR UTV in 2017. And who better to tell us about it than James Hill of IMG Motorsports.
The 2017 Turbo RZR, it absolutely rips. I mean, there's some jumps and obstacles on the Terracross courses that this thing just eats up. So we're stoked to see the OEM manufacturer continue to push the limits along with all the drivers and companies that come on board. And it really makes a difference when they're the ones pushing forward for our series. In Terracross, you're not going top speed, but more or less the rapid movement of the turbo I mean, they kick on so quick and fast. It's definitely a game changer on these tight, close courses. I mean, the amount of power that it puts down compared to the NA car is totally different. It's a lot more fun as far as the power goes, but it is a handful. And as you guys know, the Terracross courses are pretty small, tight, and choppy. So you definitely got to pick the power at the right time. This season, you're gonna see a lot more carnage, people out of control, because the turbo kicks on and it throws you whatever way it wants to go. It's gonna take a lot of getting used to in the turbo class, because a lot of people are gonna just be shooting it out and not knowing what's gonna happen next. I myself only have experience with the turbo in desert racing, which is a totally different animal. So as far as the power goes, I'm okay to handle that. But here with the Terracross stuff, it's gonna take me a little bit of getting used to also.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the men who will be driving in the debut of the turbo class. Reigning champion Jason Luberg and young gun Ronnie Anderson, who's hot on his heels.
Terracross on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Polaris RZR. Fuel your freedom. By FlyRacing.com. And by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world.
Welcome back to the 2017 Lucas Oil Terracross Preview Show. The pro men's class is always fiercely competitive, and with the introduction of the Turbo RZR, it's about to get even more intense.
So the 2017 field is pretty vast. There's some professional motorcycle guys, there's motocross background, snowmobile guys, there's radio guys like Jim Beaver, and I think that this year it's just gonna be a lot of carnage and a lot of a competition to get up front. I know in my class, with the turbo class, Ronnie Anderson's in there. He's a really good driver. I've known Ronnie for years. Also, Jason Luberg, and he's got the last 3 years in sequence of titles, I believe. So with Jason Luberg being out there in the same class as I am, it's gonna be very tough to try to battle with those guys up front.
Indeed it is, especially with three-time consecutive overall champ Jason Luberg, poised and focused on his hunt to make it 4 in a row.
There's a lot of pressure to have the #1 plate, you know, as usual. So I don't know, you just can't let it get to yourself, and you know, watch what everybody's doing and keep learning. You know, it's always about paying attention to what's going on in the game you're playing. So it's just fun. Terracross is definitely unique. It's similar to you know, endurocross or supercross or things of that nature, but it's different in its own right. You know, when I think of supercross or terracross, I think of something small and like that you can spectate and it looks cool and it puts on a good show, and that's basically what terracross is. You know, so we're here to put on a good show.
Let's take a look back at last season as Jason Luberg lined up at the Optimus start line. Terracross starts with Optimus starters on all Polaris RZRs and Rangers.
Who can stay up front? Can the 44 of Mickey Thomas defeat the 1 with enough distance to pull the points? Final race of the year, RZR XP 1000 Pro Racer class is underway.
Looks like the red #1 of Jason Luberg getting the whole shot. Mickey Thomas already trying to make a pass though.
Careful on the mangler the first time. You don't get enough momentum. We've seen people slide back. Whoa. Is that Luberg?
I gotta tell you, Mickey Thomas might be that dirt track background he's got in the off-road trucks, but he is right at home out here. Oh, and it looks like we got Cody Raiders pulling off to the side. And Luberg, he sees every single position out on track as potential points at this point. He is the current leader of the championship, but with only a 10-point deficit, Mickey Thomas, I got to tell you, he's doing what he can to win this championship.
Now Luberg, you can see right there, all the way up into second, doing it quickly, and now Thomas dunking his car once again. Luberg back to the front. We've seen Thomas do this before.
And Mickey Thomas, he must be having some major problems with that Polaris Razor. Looks like they're pulling off the mud screen. Looks like he put a bunch of duct tape on the front of his car. It was to prevent the mud from packing into the radiator. But by doing that, you also prevent the wind from cooling the radiator. So it looks like he's got somebody running out there ripping the duct tape off. Maybe it was the wrong decision, the car not cooling enough.
2 turns away from a 3rd championship. Here it comes for the number 1. We don't even remember what number Jason Luberg was. What's his favorite? It's the number 1 with a red background.
And as Jason crossed the WPS Fly Racing finish line in Jacksonville, North Carolina, he secured his 3rd consecutive Terracross overall championship. A reigning world champion with countless wins under his belt, that makes him the man to beat in the 2017 season. But hanging on to that number 1 plate is going to be no easy feat. But if there's anybody who poses a threat to Luberg's dominance, it's first-time Terracross racer Ronnie Anderson. The Anderson family is motorsports royalty, and Ronnie is the newest competitor in a long line of greats, including brother RJ and cousin Shelby. We caught up with Ronnie and the rest of the Anderson clan as he prepped for the season.
I hope I have a chance. Since we're all in stock Polaris Razors, that means the Razors will be the same, so it's all going to be all about driving, and hopefully I can go out there and show them the door.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Shelby Anderson. We're out here at Walker Evans Enterprises in Riverside, California. Just out messing around in some of the newest Polaris equipment, testing out the best of the best shocks and wheels, and just having fun out here.
It's really cool to have our family that's so into racing. Our uncles, our aunts, everyone is into racing in our family, and it's really cool because they're all super supportive of our sport. So every time we go to a race that's nearby, all of our families there supporting us, and it's really cool and kind of heartwarming when you go to like hometown races to see all of your family there and you just know that they're having your back. RJ's been helping me out in the Lucas stuff, so I can't wait to step into the Terracross series and then see what my background in short course racing has to show. We're really excited to step into a production class like this one and see what other drivers can do and see how we compare to them. It's definitely a push in our family for sure because my dad started so young in his life in the off-road racing career. It's definitely in our family. So when you grow up, you're always around racing and you're always watching racing, doing racing, everything about it. But you are pushed to do it, but you don't have to do it also. It's definitely a choice in our family, but it's definitely a kid choice for sure. I'm really stoked that me, RJ, and Shelby are racing Terracross. So then when we get off the track, we'll be able to talk to each other and see what lines are working out better for us, or maybe for Shelby that line's working out better for. So we'll be able to talk to each other and hopefully beat the competition with the Anderson trio. I'm definitely out to beat RJ. It's kind of maybe like a brotherly racing / love-hate relationship there, but I don't know if I would go as far as rolling him over, but maybe a door, a quick rubbing will be good.
Just about every kind of racing we do, me, Ronnie, my cousin Shelby, we're all in different classes, so we try to spread it all out, because at the end of the day, we all want to win. So if we could spread it all out and all win, that's the end goal.
I feel like our family is pretty open, so we all know, uh-oh, somebody had a bad race. We know, leave them alone, they might be pissed, just give them a breather and we get over it pretty fast. So that's what's awesome about our family. And at the end of the day, it's such a strong bond that our family has coming from racing all these years that I feel like nothing's gonna tear us apart.
Check this out.
It's funny, as I get older, like, I would rather see Ronnie win than win myself. So I don't get nervous on the track, but when I'm like watching Ronnie race, I get nervous. It's a weird thing, but I think it's just one of those things. It's fun to watch other people succeed.
Let's try. It is a little bit more intimidating, racing against guys that are 35, 40 years old that have a lot more experience in the class, as well with like Polaris Razors than me, and I'm just coming in fresh. I've only been driving them for 2 or 3 years now, so it is a little intimidating, but I think we come in good. I hope I don't have a target on my back, but maybe with RJ being a returning champ, and maybe. I'm not sure if I will or not, but I hope not.
Coming up after the break, we'll hear from Sarah Price and the women of Terracross. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2017 Lucas Oil Terracross Preview Show. The women of Terracross are set to battle in a field that's every bit as stacked as the men's. And at the top of the field sits Sarah Price, a dominant phenom who has devoted her life to the sport of racing.
So growing up, being, the female at the track, it was more or less the dads. Like, they had their sons racing against me, and they were like, don't let that girl beat you. And it was just like, the kids were like, but Dad, she's fast. Like, she legitimately is faster than me. But then growing up, it was pretty cool because a lot of people saw how hard we worked or how hard I worked, and they had respect. It was really cool. Like, they didn't just see me as the chick on the track, they saw me as a racer, and I think that's a big statement to have, is to not just be looked at as the girl. It's, hey, that's Sarah, she's fast. My dad came from desert racing, so he was already very much into four wheels, and then, started dating James. At the time, he was building my dad's four-wheel machines. Like, that's pretty cool, like, to have that kind of dynamic. So it was just kind of meant to be back in a four-wheel machine, and so caught on really fast to the four wheels, and just, it kept climbing, and now I'm in a trophy truck, which I never in my life thought would happen, and racing Terracross and doing all these really amazing things. I owe a lot to where we live. We're right in the epicenter of everything motorsport, so that definitely helps. I can wake up in the morning and go to a freshly groomed track and, run it all the way until the end of the day where it's just beat up and rutted. So having that and having the most gnarliest and fastest people here, it definitely raises the bar. Biggest competition would have to be Jolene. She's been absolutely killing it. She's been putting the time, the practice. She wants it. Like, she's gonna be a force to reckon with.
With her upbringing racing against the boys, Sarah was driven to test her skills against the best men in the game. In 2016, she got her wish as Terracross debuted the Shootout, a mixed field competition of the best male and female racers.
The Shootout class, oh man,